Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session where we have started a new unit by name disaster management. Yesterday we have classified the areas like a multi-hazard zone where earthquakes, floods, cyclones occur. Different kinds of disasters occur in same place. Such areas are called as a multi-hazard zone. So these disasters we have classified them as a slow onset disaster and rapid onset rapid disaster. So slow onset disaster in the sense mean based upon the speed of disaster we have classified them as a slow onset as well as rapid disaster. Slow disaster in the sense a disaster that prevails for many days, months or even sometimes years also, like a drought is there, okay, environmental degradation is there, soil erosion is there, pest infection is there, famine is there. These are some better examples of a slow onset disaster. This disaster will prevail for years together, sometimes months together sometimes. So such kind of disaster are called as a slow disaster. Now the climatic change which is happening is also a slow disaster. It is not happening at a very rapid pace. It's slowly happening. So the next, the second type of disaster is a rapid onset disaster, children. A disaster that is triggered by an instant cause like shock. Okay, kaisa shock lagti? So vaisa ice age. Okay, so by the trigger of a shock, if this happened, the impact of this disaster may be short-lived or long-term. It may be the impact also will be very short-lived, and sometimes it may be a long impact also, long-term impact also. For example, earthquakes, floods, cyclones, volcanic eruptions. These are the examples of the rapid disaster. So we have learnt about the slow onset disaster and rapid disaster. So based upon the cause, disasters can be classified into two types again. So now till now we have seen based upon the speed these disasters are classified, whereas based on the cause mean how the disaster is caused. Based upon that we can classify them as again two. One is a natural disaster, the other one is a man-made disaster, that is artificial disaster. So this natural disaster, when we discuss about them, so a natural disaster is an event that is caused by nature. Naturally it is caused by the nature, because of the nature's involvement. If the disaster is caused, such disasters are called as the natural disaster, and it leads to the human, material and economic and environmental loss. And this type of disasters are like cyclones are there, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis and landslides, floods, droughts. These all kinds of disasters comes under the natural disaster. Then a man-made disaster कौन सा है? This man-made disaster also we call it as human-induced disaster. Human-induced. Okay. आदमी के वजह से अगर disaster हुआ तो okay, then that is called as a human-induced disaster, or otherwise we also call it as a man-made disaster. A serious disruption of normal life which is triggered because of a human error. ह्यूमन मिस्टेक के वजह से अगर एक सीरियस डिजास्टर हुआ समझो, देन इफ इट कॉज्ड ह्यूमन एंड मटेरियल, इकोनॉमिक एंड एनवायरमेंटल लॉस, देन सच काइंड ऑफ इंसिडेंट और एक्सीडेंट इज कॉल्ड एज ए डिजास्टर, so which exceeds the ability of the affected to cope. Some examples for this is a Bhopal gas tragedy. भोपाल गैस ट्रेजेडी जो है 1984 में हुआ था, दैट इज़ वन सच ह्यूमन इंड्यूस्ड डिजास्टर. 1997 में उपहार सिनेमा थिएटर में जो फायर ब्रेकआउट हुआ था जिसमें बहुत सारे लोग मर गए थे, सो दैट इज़ आल्सो ए ह्यूमन इंड्यूस्ड डिजास्टर. एंड राजधानी एक्सप्रेस ट्रेन डिरेलमेंट जिसमें भी 100 से ज़्यादा लोग मर गए थे, दैट इज़ आल्सो ए काइंड ऑफ ह्यूमन इंड्यूस्ड डिजास्टर. So likewise, Kumbakonam school fire tragedy, and recently in Andhra Pradesh also there was a leakage of gas incident was there, and Jaipur serial blast, Bombay serial blast case. So these all kind of terrorist activities comes under the disaster. They are called as a man-made disaster or human-induced disaster. So how these disasters should be managed we shall see in the next class, that is a disaster management. What is a disaster management? We'll see in the next class, children. Thank you.